Hey, Columbia, you want to explain this shit, please? Now, as most of you know by now, a bunch of professors and employees from Columbia University started complaining because they didn't feel safe as people were protesting the genocide happening in Gaza. So they were awarded $221 million using the Equal Opportunity Employment Act. Now understand, no professor nor Columbia employee was harmed during these protests. No Columbia employee was threatened or had their jobs taken away from them for opposition to these protests, nor did their employees participate on either side of the conflict that's happening in Gaza right now. But somehow they were just given $221 million. Now on its face, that's extremely problematic because they just got $221 million because the university allowed students and other employees to exercise their First Amendment right. But in the grand scheme, it's even more problematic because Columbia University won't even pay reparations, nor have they considered paying reparations to the Black people that worked for them, despite the fact they were not just a part of slavery. Columbia would not exist without slavery. How do we know this, you might ask? Well, that's because Columbia University told us. In 2014, Columbia University started a project to examine the connections between the university and slavery. Oh, but not just in the context of Columbia on campus or the administration, but the impact Columbia had on its surrounding communities and the racism and discrimination that occurred even after slavery was abolished. And as it turns out, Columbia University basically wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for slavery and the money gained from slavery. They even have faculty, staff, presidents, members of the board of trustees who owned slaves. And their grand master plan for reconciliation is putting a bunch of names on buildings to commemorate the history. So Columbia acknowledged the part that they played in slavery, not only the benefits of slavery that they received, but the part they played in making sure that it was expanded. They acknowledged that they were wrong and they acknowledged that there needed to be reconciliation, but didn't decide to pay out reparations. And when they finally decide to pay out reparations, it's to a bunch of random Jewish employees who had their feelings hurt, and they use the Equal Employment Opportunity Act that was created under the Civil Rights Act because of how Black people were experiencing discrimination. Bruh, are y'all for real right now? And what are y'all gonna argue? Oh, well, those Black people or Black people today that might be working there, going to school there, or living in the community nearby, those people weren't directly affected by the policies back in the day. Well, the Jewish employees who bitched their way to $221 million aren't directly affected at all by the situation in Gaza, and yet they still got paid. And Columbia University and this project that they did actually acknowledges the fact that they did do damage to the community. They did discriminate within that community. They did still continue to treat Columbia as if it was an exclusively white school after slavery was banned, after discrimination was banned. There were direct impacts to Black people, whereas in the case of these Jewish employees, there was no direct impact from Columbia University itself. And they gave them money, and hell, even if you didn't want to give Black people in the area or at your school reparations, Columbia hasn't even tried to financially reconcile the situation by at least giving to the community, trying to open up programs to make it more easier for the Black people who otherwise wouldn't have had a chance in the past to get into the university. Nothing like that. Not even considered it. Once again, it seems like one specific group gets to benefit from laws and policies that were passed because of the way Black people were treated, while Black people were told once again, wait in line and shut the fuck up. I just find that really, really interesting.